Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, magandang hapon po. It is my honor and privilege to stand before you today to sponsor Senate Bill number 2046 under Committee Report number 10, otherwise known as the Go Negosyo Bill. This measure aims to facilitate ease of doing business, push the growth of micro and small enterprises, create jobs and livelihood across the country, and hopefully achieve the inclusive growth that millions of our fellow Filipinos desperately wish to be part of. The fact that the Philippines has grown astoundingly over the past 3 years is no longer news to any of us. Since 2010, the administration of President Aquino III has worked hard to institute fiscal reforms and anti-corruption measures that have led to robust economic growth, global investor confidence, and our recently earned investment grade ratings by Moody's, Fitch, and Standard & Poor's. From being the sick man of Asia just a decade or so ago, we are now among the breakout nations and one of Asia's rising stars. Today, we are second only to China in terms of growth in our region. And just the other day, Standard & Poor's released a report saying that the Philippines will continue to be the fastest growing economy in the ASEAN, despite the devastation wrought by Yolanda and cognizant of the rebuilding efforts in different provinces around the country. We can say that our macroeconomic numbers, especially over the past year and a half, have been phenomenal. However, all this growth means nothing if we cannot create jobs, livelihood, and mass employment for millions of poor Filipinos. Hindi po katanggap-tanggap na habang umaarangkada ang ating ekonomiya, marami pa rin Pilipino ang patuloy na nabihirap. From our perspective, as chairman of the Senate Committee on Trade, Commerce, and Entrepreneurship, and based on our experience as a social entrepreneur, working with different poor communities, we have identified several keys to unlocking inclusive growth. These are comprehensive and meaningful support for micro, small, and medium enterprises, unhindered access to inclusive finance, support for social enterprises through inclusive supply chains, a K-12 educational system geared towards enterprise development and job placement, and a clear pipeline for the 4-piece program towards productivity. These, dear colleagues, are, for us, the building blocks of inclusive growth in the Philippines. And this bill, hopefully, will provide one of these building blocks when it's passed. Underpinning all of these is the development of our micro and SME sector, which accounts for no less than 99% of all businesses in the Philippines, and at least 66% of all jobs in the labor force. The numbers show that boosting the MSME sector will help us create more decent, sustainable jobs that can lift many Filipinos out of poverty. We also need to look at MSMEs as a pipeline for development instead of seeing the micro, small, and medium enterprises in separate silos. We need programs that will enable micro-enterprises to enter the formal economy. Our goal should be to help them graduate into small and medium enterprises so that they grow and generate revenue and jobs for our communities. MSME development is a continuum that needs support at each stage from the government and the private sector. Before running for the Senate, kasama po ako sa isang grupo na nagtayo ng isang social enterprise na tinawag na Happy Noy Program. Dito po, 7 taon tayo nagtrabaho upang palaguin ang mga maliliit na negosyo ng ating mga mahihirap na kababayan kasama ng mga microfinance institution. Dito natin nakita kung paano nakakatulong ang mga programang pangnegosyo sa mga kababayan nating nagnanais na iangat ang kanilang sarili mula sa kahirapan. Naalala ko po ang kwento ni Tita Belen Jimenez ng San Antonio, Quezon. Isa po siya sa aming Happy Noy Nanays. Bago po siya naging bahagi ng Happy Noy program, si Nanay Belen ay nagpapatakbo ng isang sari-sari store at pinahiram pa ng dagdag na 40,000 pesos pang kapital ng kanyang biyenan. Subalit, imbis na lumago ang kanyang negosyo, Naubos rin ang kapital ni Tita Belen dahil hindi mainam ang kanyang pagpapatakbo ng kanyang maliit na negosyo. At dagdag pa dito, napakataas ng kanyang pautang sa mga customer at nanakawan pa siya ng 2 beses. Ngunit, nung sumama po siya sa Happy New Year program sa tulong ng aming naisagawang programa, nabigyan si Tita Belen ng training sa paghawak ng pera at pag-manage ng kanyang tindahan. Sa loob ng 5 taon, lumaki ang kanyang negosyo at nadagdagan pa. Ngayon, meron na siyang 2 tricycle, 1 computer set, silk screen, laminator at photocopier para sa kanyang printing business, at lubos pa dito, ang sari-sari store ni Tita Belen ay isa na ring padala center sa kanyang maliit na komunidad. Napatunayan po namin sa Happy New Year program na sa tama at akmang pamamaraan at programa, maaaring kumita at umasenso ang isang maliit na negosyo. Noong mga panahon pong yon, na napakalayo pa sa aking isip ang maging isang senador, lagi po namin noong nasasabi, sana ganitong klaseng suporta, ganitong klaseng programa ay maibibigay sa bawat Pilipinong nangangarap magkaroon ng isang negosyong tutulong sa kanyang pamilya. Nararapat lang na ang suporta para sa mga maliliit na negosyante ay mahanap ng Pilipino sa lahat ng sulok ng ating bayan. Kaya po mga kaibigan, nandito po tayo to sponsor the Go Negosyo Bill. At its core, the Go Negosyo Bill addresses this current gap in our government support systems by empowering and supporting our MSMEs, which comprise 99% of all businesses in the country. We set them on a pipeline for development. Hence, this bill is a foundational and necessary aspect of our country's inclusive growth agenda. At the heart of the Go Negosyo Bill is infrastructure and support for MSMEs at the city and municipal level so that each local government is able to boost MSME growth and provide jobs and livelihood for their constituents. That said, we've designed the Go Negosyo Bill to connect and to complement 2 existing laws, the Magna Carta for MSMEs and the BMBE law or the BAMBI law. It deepens the Magna Carta for MSMEs by establishing negosyo centers supervised by the DTI in each city and municipality as a hub for MSME registration and development. Entrepreneurs of all sizes will know they have a partner in starting and growing their businesses and getting access to the right kind of training, mentoring, and value chain linkage. Some of the functions of our proposed negosyo centers include, but are not limited to, the following: promoting ease of doing business by integrating a single business processing system for MSMEs and coordinating and facilitating government processes and requirements related to the registration, setup, and management of such. Facilitate access to grants and other forms of financial assistance, shared service facilities and equipment, and other support for MSMEs. Organize mentoring programs for prospective and current entrepreneurs and investors, and offer services on training, financing, and marketing. This includes mapping out information and services related to key value chain and economic subsectors within the LGU's jurisdiction. Coordinate with schools and organizations on the development of a youth entrepreneurship training program, which should be able to support our move against youth unemployment. Build local support networks and establish market linkages for MSME development. Support private sector activities relating to MSME development and conduct other programs or projects aligned with the National MSME Development Plan. These are just some of the functions that we have put in for the Negosyo Center, Mr. President. We believe that by increasing the resources and the reach of the DTI to go all the way to the city and municipal level with the support of the LGUs, they will be more responsive in addressing the concerns of our micro, small, and medium enterprises. The Go Negosyo Bill is also pushing for stronger private sector representation, as well as the inclusion of more relevant government agencies in the MSME Development Council or the MSMED Council to ensure tighter public-private collaboration in addressing the needs of the sector. Another key feature of the Go Negosyo Bill is to unlock the benefits of the Barangay Microbusiness Enterprise Law. This law, which I'm happy to say was supported by a number of our colleagues and passed in 2002, unfortunately, has only less than 1% availment of the program. Out of almost 750,000 micro-enterprises, less than 1% have actually availed of the BMB law. And specifically, what we're doing is redesigning the registration process, creating and designing more appropriate ways to register themselves, cut red tape, and give MSMEs a stronger support system so that we can finally unlock and unleash the benefits of the BMBE law to more micro-enterprises in the Philippines. It is also specifically made to address our ease of doing business issues and to be able to make sure that Filipinos will have an easier time in running and starting up their businesses in the Philippines. At this point, Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, I would like to acknowledge the presence of some of our key partners in drafting the Go Negosyo bill. We have Mr. Mon Lopez here, the Executive Director of Go Negosyo. He's quite a familiar face to a number of us here. And as we all know, Go Negosyo has been one of the institutions that has been pushing for MSME development in our country. And we're happy to say that they're not only fully supportive of this bill, but I'm happy to note that we named this bill after this organization, which continues to support our micro and small enterprises in the Philippines. So once again, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, on behalf of our partners in the DTI and of course the private sector, we are privileged and honored to sponsor before this august body the Go Negosyo Bill, a piece of legislation created to help our countrymen out of poverty and towards a path to prosperity. We humbly ask for our esteemed colleagues' support and consideration. Maraming salamat po at magandang hapon.